officer would say, finish. You've already gone this far, you might as well finish it. But if somebody hadn't started, I don't think I ever saw them up with, why do you go to college? Someone who's already, scientist or philosopher or something, doing something, probably would encourage them, but I never saw it up. I went over the scheme. You're chanting Hare Krishna and studying books, but if you went to college, I never saw that. And we have seen Prabhupada say some fairly complimentary things in education. There are some devotees who've gone to college and who are doing good work. Even from the mundane point of view, I was in a Lachua, big household community, and I gave a rather, I bashed college. It was a passion kind of a talk about how useless it was, how it was a slaughterhouse. It was prompted by one mother whose child wasn't interested in going to college, and was getting heat from the other community members. The kid has to go to college, the kid has to go to college, the kid has to go to college. So the mother asked me, does my kid have to go to college? Your kid does have to go to college. College is a waste of time. So I really bashed it a lot and said that, if you're meant to make money, you'll make money whether or not you go to college. And if you're meant to be poor, college education won't help you. You're going to be poor no matter what. Because on account of your previous karma, you'll grow richer. There's so many people who go to college and they don't make any money. My sister has a PhD, she doesn't really make any serious money. These scholars told me, you'll make money, but you'll get reputation, but not money. And that's what she's got. She's got some reputation that she doesn't have. She eats, but that's it. She's not collecting money. In spite of having a PhD. So it's not that, the more education you get, the more money you'll get. Or that without education, you won't get money. So I gave a class, then there was a devotee in the back. He's a disciple of Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Radha Jiva. And I asked him, did you go to college? He said, no, much to my father's dismay. Rajasthani family. Much to my father's dismay, I left in my first year to join the Hare Krishna movement. Then he lived as a brahmachari for so many years. Then he got married, started a business, became a multi-million-dollar business, at least $1 million business. Because he's coming from the Marwadi community, they're a business community. It's like their karma. If they start a business, it has to make $1 million. And so many years of the brahmachari, as soon as he starts a business, it becomes a big success. No college required, just karma. Some people, money sees them and just starts running in their direction. And some people, money just comes the opposite way. We have so many examples of our book distributors. They're out distributing books in American airports or in some public place. And typically some man's waiting for a plane and you're like watching them for like 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, and then offers him a job. Just watches how expert the devotee is in sales and wants to hire him on the spot. And this is a person, never been to business school, probably never went to college, nothing. All he did was distribute books for the Hare Krishna movement, and now somebody just on the spot wants to hire him. Because he learned everything he needed to know by devotional service. How much does it cost to go to college for you? $30,000.
$3,000 for 1 year.
$3,000. It's an awful lot to spend to spend a year in travel.
12,000 for overseas.
Excuse me?
12,000 for overseas.
12,000 for international students.
Where do we draw the line? Primary school, middle school, secondary school, college?
Oh, I would draw it before any of the above.
You mostly stress college, 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 so I don't get to make sure where they're heading.
It's probably sort of slaughterhouse of mundane education. Just like our Radhika Raman, mother just didn't send him to school, dude. Just educated at home, and he's got his PhD from us.
How important is it for devotees to study things like Bhakti Shastri and things like this, or can they just study Prabhupada's books on their own, or should they, was it important for devotees?
Well, you can study whichever way. Generally, the structured study seems to encourage people. Okay. When Chanakya Pandit says, study with two. When you study on your own, you may tend to fall asleep and become, sort of hazy. Therefore, that's why colleges and universities and so on are there. Sort of, it creates a structure and environment in which people learn all the garbage they learn over there. So, similarly, when you have a structure, you have other people. Like Papa gives the example of an association. You go to the stock market and everybody's doing business. So, there's a system. So there's some system for spiritual education. You can take advantage of that. Otherwise, if you want to do it on your own, and you're self-motivated and you're focused, yeah.
It is said that temple life is a Brahminical type of life, of living. What's hope for us if we are not Brahminical person?
Watch the course. Whatever, if you're not Brahminical, then do something less Brahminical. Brahminical generally means study and learning, education. Otherwise, there's all sorts of engagements. Someone's fixing the cars. It's not particularly a Brahminical engagement, but it's a necessary engagement. We know about cars. So someone has this kind of work. Someone's working in the garden. So that's not a gardener, is a shooter. You don't post an ad in the newspaper from and wanted. It's a shooter occupation. But when you're doing the gardening for Krishna, then it's no less than Brahminical engagements.
I mean, to ask like this, that only Brahmins can be awarded sannyasa in terms that this is the only person who is able to...
Well, generally the gardener doesn't need sannyas.
I mean, to ask in
When
terms
you
of...
teach and travel, then sannyas is helpful. Otherwise, to do gardening, you don't really need a dhamya or you need a hoe.
I want to ask in terms of long life, like lifelong renunciation, it doesn't interfere.
The gardener can be renounced. It doesn't have to be that, you need a danda to leave the renouncement. The person who's doing the gardening for Krishna, sasannyasi shivaki chanamani rajam. He's on the Nashrita front, he's not attached to any material profit. He's doing his prescribed duty for the service of Krishna. He's a sannyasi. Not just the person who takes that and cloth and temple. Nashrita front, sasannyasi.
Once I joined the temple, I listened to some classes, and